This episode of Vibe Keeper Radio Podcast is brought to you by the Primal Potency Program. The Primal Potency Program was created to help solve the man crisis rampant in our culture, meaning there's never been a time in history where men have afforded to be so sedentary and imbalanced. I know, I used to be one of those men until I experienced a wake-up call. We no longer have to chop wood, carry water, build things, or chase bears. Nature magically set it up for our ancestors where a natural lifestyle would have us physically working outside, hunting, building, eating meat, fasting, resting, procreating, and being naturally accountable for the rhythms of nature. Today, we've all but managed to out-technology the need for strong masculinity, muscles, testosterone, and accountability. Testosterone levels are at an all-time low due to inactivity, fake foods, xenoestrogens, and programmed conditioning, which is creating catastrophic confusion and imbalance. The Primal Potency Program is a 100-day program which includes workouts, a paleo-keto-based nutrition program, a supplement list, social media support groups, and more designed to totally reset the body and jumpstart deconditioning from obsolete cultural programs to promote a sense of well-being, direction, and purpose for the masculine man. Normally priced at $100 for 100 days, for a limited time, I'm offering a 20% pre-launch discount until the launch date, February 1st. You can sign up now by clicking the link in the show notes or going to my website, thevibekeeper.com/primal-potency. That's vibekeeper.com/primal-potency. Welcome to Vibe Keeper Radio Podcast. I'm your host, Tate Alexander. This is the podcast where we talk about all things vibration, because everything in its essence is vibration. From the clothes we wear, to the relationships we have, to the food we eat, to the businesses we run, we are always consciously or unconsciously operating in a field of energy. We are here to utilize this knowledge in very grounded and practical ways. I've spent the majority of my life discovering what not to do by experimenting with the most radical life paths, from growing up Christian to tantric mystical exploration to raw veganism to hitchhiking to living alone on a mountain in a tent to traveling across the Americas to drugs and sex and rock and roll to a psychonaut's approach to shamanism. Basically stating every approach to life I could personally attempt, I did. I'm here to share my experience, knowledge, and perspective with you, distilling what I have found works from what I have found absolutely does not. We're going to be touching on a broad span of topics, including communication, personal health, the dynamics of relating, and grounding mystical knowledge so that it can be practical and integrated in the daily lives of the average or not so average man. I'm excited to host guests on this show whom I consider to be winners in their field. We're going to be talking a lot about masculinity and manning up, so hold on to your balls, gentlemen. Here we go. All right, welcome to Vibe Keeper Radio. Today we've got Troy Casey, the certified health nut, and he certainly is a health nut. This guy's got the brightest, most fascinating personality. I met this guy years and years ago. The reason he stood out to me was he was glowing. You know those healthy people, you see them. They're walking around, they got a big old bright smile on their face, and you're like, what's this dude into? So that's how I first sort of saw Troy. my friends and I that know him kind of in the community, we joke around. We call him Uncle Troy because he sort of is this uncle I never had. You know, in the community, especially as the world is going absolutely crazy, you hold those people sort of dear and close to you. So we joke around and call him Uncle Troy. He has a book, Ripped at 50, A Journey to Self-Love. It's an amazing book. You should pick it up. He talks about the 9 pillars of health, which highly resonates with me. He's looking at health in a holistic perspective, not just picking it apart and only focusing on one thing, which I think is very important. So welcome, Troy, to the podcast. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, brother. Thanks so much for having me on, Tate. We've been good friends for a long time. We met at the Rossum Food Club, and you were hanging out there, and then they got busted, and they confiscated $50,000 worth of food, and the FBI and the city attorney was there, and I interviewed you, and it was great. And that was up on Natural News. It's still up on my YouTube channel as well.
Nice. Yeah, I actually interviewed James Stewart yesterday. We talked for about 3 hours on my podcast.
Wow, that's great. How's he doing?
He's doing great. He's such a good guy. He's very wise. He's another one of those sort of uncle figures in the community for us. Just a very generous, heart-centered man. He's working with olive oil and apple cider vinegar and ketone. So he's still in the health food industry. So I wanted to, I already know this, but I want you just to tell everyone listening, what is your mission on planet Earth and what is your plan for accomplishing it?
My mission is to raise human consciousness and change all systems. My vision is clean air, water, soil, and equitable systems for all mankind. And my plan on how to execute, how to get the world healthy, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, is right out of the Kardashian playbook or the Gucci Mane playbook. I'm here to entertain the souls of the peepholes and bring them along with life affirmative principles. So what you see in the Kardashian playbook and in the rapper's playbook is is some authenticity, but a lot of fakery and fuckery. And so we're subjugating that, but using the same type of tactics of entertainment. And really, sex sells is something that's not going away anytime ever. Everyone wants to get laid at the biochemical level. Most people, 90+%, are addicted to pornography, especially men. 99% probably for men. Women, the statistics a little bit lower, but most people are doped up on an idea of their sexuality and their creativity, yet we're still driven by those hormones. So I'm going to use that and the media conduits to entertain the souls of the peoples. That is my mission and methodology. And at 55 years old, I can take my shirt off. I can be a sexy man. I can be a fit human being. And that's attractive to other people. And not that I'm God's gift to bodybuilding or physique or whatever. I'm just going to use the God-given talents that have been given to me. And I was in front of the camera for 31 years. I've been in advertising, marketing, fashion, entertainment, TV, comedy. And so I'm going to use all those tools. And many of your followers, because I know you're a conscious guy, have probably seen the BBC documentary, Century of the Self, on how the mind is programmed, brainwashing, brain viruses. And so I am looking to turn that around with life affirmative principles. So it's the same attraction components. It's just that the back end is not selling you toxic pharmaceutical drugs and chemicalized food.
Yeah, definitely have common ground there. Me as a musician, I've got almost to the T the same goals in mind. You know, I think we can make anything quote unquote cool, you know. Like we can make things attractive, and we can either make something destructive attractive or something that's productive attractive. So I love to hear that on a similar mission, but being expressed in sort of our own ways there.
Well, I'm very interested in getting into music, Tate, and we should talk further because I really love your avant-garde style of music, and it's just another avenue. I've always liked hip hop and rap music, so I think the first song that I'm going to do, actually, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but I got a really good song. It's a children's song, and we're going to make it into a hip hop song and change the words a little bit around men and masculinity, and
nice.
The men go marching on. It's going to be fucking awesome. And so I'll keep you in the loop on that. Maybe you can send me some producers, or some people that make some good solid beats.
Yes, I do. We can talk on. I don't know a whole lot of beat makers, but I know great engineers, mastering engineers. We will definitely talk about that. I want to talk about. So you touched a little bit on like sort of the evil brainwashers, that most of the conscious community is familiar with. Where it's hard to not be aware of the sort of Darth Vaders of the world, the villains that exist. But I want to ask you who you see as the heroes in this world. First of all, and also second part of that question is what we can do practically in our lives to become one. Because I sort of see you as like a hero figure. And I think there's other people that I see in this world. I'm like, they're doing the work. They're showing up. They got balls. And they do have that sort of hero complex. So who do you sort of see as heroes in this world? And what do you think we can do practically in our lives to become one? You're muted.
I consider some people may think this is egotistical, but I just learned to honor myself and understand my own self-worth. But I consider myself a hero. It's somebody I want to look up to in what they're doing. The other heroes out there are my fellow colleagues at the Czech Institute. So that's Paul Czech, that's JP Sears, Elliot Hulse. These are just some more of the popular people out there, but anyone who is a Czech practitioner and follows Paul Czech's extensive work in holistic health and rehabilitation, they're tapped into what food is, what soil is, what it takes to be a human being, what it takes to be healthy. These are fundamental principles that all human beings should know. So when I get around my colleagues at the Czech Institute, we have a baseline of understanding. We don't have to convince people about research bias and that the food supply is contaminated. And so I think Czech practitioners are major heroes today. And anyone who's standing up in the face of communism, totalitarian tiptoe, subversive takeover, undermining masculinity and what men bring to the table, breaking up the family via feminism. Not that women can't do whatever they want. Please, anybody, I'm the Pied Piper of human liberation. Everyone should be free to do what they want. But men and women have natural roles, and women are the natural nurturers of the children. They are the ones that nourish the children. So my big question to everyone out there in cyberspace that wants to peg me as a misogynist or some type of anti situation like that, what happened to the food supply, guys? Who was watching the food? Oh, the women went back to work. Why? Because the CIA worked with Gloria Steinem and they wanted feminism and women's lib to come up and, make your own sandwiches, make your own food, clean your own house. That's a disgusting job and women shouldn't have to do that underneath the, men, blah, 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 blah. Okay, you got your feminism. Now what happened to the children? Childhood obesity through the roof, childhood diabetes through the roof, ADHD, ADD, autism through the roof. Why? Because you didn't read the inserts of your vaccine ingredients. You didn't do your research as a human being. You just went and trusted the devil to inject your children with all sorts of poisons. They poison the water. They poison the food. They poison the toothpaste. They poison the underarm deodorant. They poison the food. They educated people on how to use microwaves and now we got microwaves on our cell phones. There's not a lot of consciousness. It's good for business and I like business and moving ideas forward, but we have a monetary system that is that has no intrinsic value. And so the sweat equity of human beings has been siphoned off the value of the dollar many, many times over. And so it's time to get conscious and clear. So the number one thing a human being can do out there to change the world and be a hero is be healthy. Mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Hydration, nutrition, sleep, movement, purpose, dream, legacy. A man needs to know what their purpose is. I'm here to tell you that women, raising children is enough of a purpose. Yes, that needs to be put on a pedestal. The children are our future of this planet. It's very important that we support the women in doing that. And in the same time, we need to support the men in going out on the front lines, changing the money supply, changing the world, using the 10 times the testosterone of a female to get out there and affect change. Use your voice. Speak up. Man up. Like, don't be weak. Get strength in your body, right? Get clear. Clean out your body. Clean out the vessel. Fasting, internal purification. Clean out the liver. Clean out the kidneys. Build strength. Build endurance. Get into the cold water. Be resilient. Be anti-fragile. Don't be weak in the mind. You know, the list goes on extensively. It's a revolutionary act to be healthy right now, Tate.
Yep.
So that's prime directive for any man that's watching, man, woman, and child that's watching this. Be healthy and then fit into your community. Know your lane. Know what you're good at. Men have 10 times the testosterone. It's a good idea that we focus that energy and we honor those gifts. Women are the natural nurturers and nourishers of the children. And let's honor that as well. Let's stay in our lane. Good read is David Data's Way of the Superior Man.
Yes.
So recognize our lanes. And I'm not saying it's perfect. And feminism and oil and fiat currencies got us to where we're at now. But real men recognize the cognition. They don't take the brainwashing and the programming hands down. They're a little bit more aware on the perimeter of what's going to kill them or what's to eat, right? And right now there's subversive activities and ideas, ideological components that are trying to undermine men, undermine the family. Divorce is easy. So women just think, oh, I'm triggered by my man, because there's been so much divide over the years. Divide and conquer is the oldest trick in the book. Recognize this. You don't have to deploy armies if you divide the plebes against themselves. And that is what's happening.
Absolutely agree with you there. I got called a misogynist last night for making a post similar to what you're saying now. And you know what? It just fueled my workout. I just worked out hard. I was like, fuck you, and just channeled that energy into more working out. And, another thing that's come out of this sort of masculinization of women in the lib movement has been the only way men can polarize that is becoming more feminine, which we're obviously seeing as well. I did that. Yeah, which leads me, I did that too, which leads me to my next question, which is, how can men move more into their masculinity in a way that helps women feel safe, moving more into their femininity and surrender?
Build strength in your body, first and foremost. Do squats and deadlifts. Do calisthenics before you can do weight bearing. Make sure your biomechanics are there. Get your body moving properly and then load it up with some weights. Be intelligent. Don't overtrain. Don't work out outside of your own capacity. Have a lot of intelligence around it and build strength in your body consistently. If you do 5 pull-ups today and 5 pull-ups tomorrow and 5 pull-ups for the rest of the year, I do 20 pull-ups. I get sore the next day. I'm out. You have more volume by the end of the year. You don't need to do a whole big workout all the time. Just do what you can when you can, but be systematic about it. I built a lot of muscle in Golds. I was using 5-pound dumbbells when I had autoimmune disease and I was healing myself from black mold exposure. I would go down there with 5-pound dumbbells and I would just, each day I would work out. Then I'd move up to 7 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds. My muscles got bigger. Strength came back in my body. I was doing deadlifts, air squats, and I built strength in my lower extremities. That's going to boost the testosterone. Once the testosterone is boosted and get damn good sleep and lower your stress levels, you'll get more mileage out of fine-tuning your nutrition. My nutrition program is perfect for that, cleaning out the body, fine-tuning your sleep hygiene, your circadian rhythms. and lowering your stress level than trying to outrun your bad diet in the gym. People think I'm a gym rat. I'm 55 years old. I haven't been to the gym in the last year, maybe 4 times since lockdown. And so I'm fitter now than I am living on the land, running in the mountains, than I was lifting weights at Gold's. And so the bottom line is you can get fit anywhere. You can build strength, boost that testosterone. The sex hormones don't come out and play. The androgen sex hormones are testosterone. And so they don't come out and play if the stress hormones are elevated. So elevated cortisol will break down the body. So manage your stress levels properly, build some strength in your body. That's the best thing that you can do. With strength comes clarity. The clarity of mind, man can cut through the fabric of reality. When their inner vision, they decalcify their pineal gland, they raise your vibrations through fasting and other techniques like qigong and nature-based therapies. When you raise your vibration, your pineal gland is clear, you have that inner vision, you know what the heart desires, and you can program the mind with what the heart desires. And I've done research on this. I believe that altruism exists at the core level of all human beings. And if that's the case, I do know that most people desire peace and harmony. And if that's the case, then we start speaking that into existence. Peace on earth is coming. Peace on earth. I am creating peace on earth. I am creating peace inside myself first. All the certified health nuttery stuff that I do is really just to make sure that I'm not an asshole out in the world. I need to calm my nervous system. I need to make sure that there's minerals. I got to be hydrated. You know, I've got 10 times the testosterone. I have a certain je ne sais quoi about me. I'm very fiery as the Aries moon. And so I want to be as calm and zen as possible so I can be responsive, not reactive. And so all my meditation, ice baths, nutrition, fasting, breath work, all these things are designed to quell my anxiety. Now, the yogis figured this out through stresses in their life back 5,000 years ago. Now with the modern day stressors, man, I got to do so much yoga and breath work, but not even make it a thing. I get out of a cold shower and I start doing breath of fire. I just do it right then and there. I see my dumbbells over there. I start doing curls for the girls. Maybe I do 1 set. Bottom line is I keep moving and I keep doing all these things. You build habits around them, and then it's not a thing. It's a complete lifestyle. I just chucked down 150 calories of nutrient-dense organic wheatgrass grown in volcanic ash beds from heirloom seeds. I feel amazing, right? That was just one trick and tool of the book. I've got some South American plants in my mouth right now. I'm always feeding the nutrition. I'm always feeding the neurotransmitters. I'm giving the body exactly what it needs in the moment. And I'm not perfect. So sometimes I fall. So I fall back on my habits and my lifestyle. And so that's how you be strong. Build it right into your lifestyle. Get very clear. Like, cut the shit. All you guys listening out there, cut the fucking shit. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and get clear on what you want. Don't be a victim. Don't let the communist takeover roll over you. It's like you got to get really clear in that mirror and then go forth. And if you don't have the information, get with Tate. He's got the information. Get with me. I got the information. We're doing sweat lodges and ice baths and men's work out here and holotropic breath work. We're doing healing out here in Sedona. It's designed for that, to help you be resilient, strong, clear, confident moving forward.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah. I'm just launching my Primal Potency program through my website too. So I'll be training men out here as well. So if you're in Arizona, link up with Troy. Very knowledgeable. We interrupt this program to bring you our musical guest. Here's a new one by Jeffertiti, Stockholm Syndrome.
Lost in a land of BMWs, Catholic school dresses, wide-eyed faces, brand new threads, and ACs pumping, lost in that moment when something's nothing. For me, I'm too busy fumbling to know the answer. like a monkey in a cage. But me, I'm too busy vomiting to know the answer. Me, I'm too busy vomiting to know the answer. Me, I'm too busy vomiting to know the answer. Me, I'm too busy vomiting to know the answer. Me, I'm too busy vomiting to know the answer.
Also, in your book, you touch a bit on plant medicine and your journey. That's another thing we have in common with ayahuasca. I want to know, I know you touch on it in your book, but for those who haven't read it, and maybe we can go a little deeper here, what has plant medicine done for you on your journey, and how can men integrate their wisdom into our modern daily lives? I feel like plant medicine has so much wisdom to offer. However, if it's not integrated in a practical, grounded way, it's sort of useless, and you can go quickly down the woo-woo, airy-fairy spiritual path. So I would love to hear your thoughts and maybe your personal experience on how to integrate those lessons.
Great question, my friend. Look, ayahuasca is a tool, but just like a hammer, you can build a house or you can smash in somebody's head.
Yep.
So it's an incredibly powerful tool. My mentor in the Amazon said, when things go haywire in the world as they are today, man goes back to the origins. This is the plant teacher, the number one plant teacher, the mother, ayahuasca. And there's many other, right? There's peyote, there's San Pedro, there is iboga. There are psilocybin mushrooms. There are many sacred medicines, Bufo alivarius, the 5-MeO DMT toad, but also holotropic breathwork will get you there. So back to taking psychedelics. Big warning for anybody that's doing it. Ayahuasca is only 50, maybe 30% of the work. Once you peeled open your consciousness, decalcified your pineal gland, and ayahuasca has the ability to do that, really open up that inner vision. Once you've started to do that, then you need to integrate those ideas in your life. What I tell my clients is, don't quit your day job. Okay? Don't go home and instantly call for a divorce. Like, go and search out good advisors, preferably the coaches that you're drinking medicine with. And again, there's a lot of plastic shamans out there that are just handing this stuff out like candy and, THC gummy bears. And so the fact of the matter is, these are sacred medicines. It peels you wide open. It's going to help you see what's holding you back, what's in your way, and your movement forward. The thing is you've got to integrate that properly into your lifestyle, because if you quit your day job and then you don't have the fiat currencies, you can't pay for gasoline, you can't pay for organic food, your mineralization goes down. You've seen the angels, but you just don't understand why it's not showing up in the third dimension. And then you've got psychosis and you're breaking down. And whether that's an abject level where you lose your fucking cookies, or whether that's a low level and you think you know it all now, and everybody should just conform to your ayahuasca awakening. And here's a news flash, just turn on the news. The world isn't tapped into that, right? Universal love consciousness and grateful for everything, right? That is what ayahuasca renders you into. And so taking that and integrating it in your life is a slow process. 6 months integration for ayahuasca ceremonies. I recommend people go down to the jungle, work with the real shamans. Not that there's not, trouble down there with shamans taking advantage of Westerners, but at least you're going to be working with a lineage and they know how to work with the energy, the spirits, etc. Shaman's not a leaf in the wind. So source your medicine properly. I send people to Refugio Altiplano outside of Iquitos, Peru. I've been sending people down there for a long time. Refugio, High Plain Refuge, refugioaltiplano.org.com, Instagram, Facebook. And I also send people to Rhythmia, which is a 5-star spiritual center that's based on holotropic breath work, 4 nights of ayahuasca, and Reverend Michael Beckwith, Bruce Lipton, many of these major teachers, their curriculum is there for the teaching. And shamans will tell you exactly. Ayahuasca is only 50% of the work. The integration is everything. So I got sideways on the disclaimer, but I think it's very important to lay that out for all you medicine drinkers out there. There's a lot of work to be done on the back end. Don't just keep trying to go to the angels and get that euphoric experience. Try and build that serotonin and reuptake and DMT activation inside you with your own breath work, right? Activate it without the drugs. So be very cognizant of your choices in drinking ayahuasca. The second thing I'll say, drinking it in city centers will open you up to the psychic density. So what is psychic energy? What is a psychic stress? You walk into your cubicle office building on Monday morning. There's a certain psychic energy. Friday afternoon, certain psychic energy. Saturday morning, you walk into to LA Coliseum, the Trojans are playing. There's a certain psychic energy. Walk in the Coliseum on Tuesday morning when the only business people and the groundskeeper are there. It's a very different energy. So if you're doing medicine in a city center with all the discordant energies, the 5G, the Wi-Fi technology, the fear, the money frenzy, especially in somewhere like LA, the pollution, you start drinking medicine there, it's not going to be as calm and tranquil, and you're not going to get all the healing methodologies, the healing components of the rainforest, the cacophony of insects and birds singing frequency and vibration into you, the super high oxygen content inside the Amazon. It's going to heal you on multiple levels, not to mention the nature devas, and the plants themselves are jealous. They're regional. They want to be used in the Amazon or in the jungle. And so that's my recommendation. Be very cognizant about your choices. Don't make it about ayahuasca. Do your 3-4 sessions, 2-night session, 4-night session, 10 days in the jungle. Whatever you're going to do, take 6 months to a year to integrate that. Don't keep running back to the drugs, right? To the medicine. Don't just keep running back to it, because it's not going to solve your problems. It's actually going to cause more problems. And I see this prevalent. I've seen it in my own relationship. Ayahuasca opened up my wife, talking about more peace and harmony in our relationship. And then we got together, we got remarried on ayahuasca. And then this past year, her whole integration process, it's been all about the medicine. And she's doing the medicine with other people. And then she has a week-long hangover. Look, you do medicine, you got to come back to your family. You got to come back to your job. You have responsibilities. You can't run away from society, quit your day job, tell everybody that now you don't know what it's like because you've seen the angels, and you don't know. You got to hold it together, man. You got to hold it together. The definition of shaman is one who can walk between both worlds. A lot of people drink medicine and then they magically think they're a healer. Yeah, newsflash, we're all healers, right? But there's work to be done to develop those skills. And so in the meantime, you want to recognize that your own medicine use, and you want to be able to integrate. The definition of the shaman is to walk between both worlds. And right now we are in the 5th dimension. I mean, we are moving toward, word around the spiritual campfire is we're moving towards the 5th dimension, and we're in the 3rd dimension, the physical reality. And so again, don't quit your day job. Recognize where you're at in time and space, which is the 3rd dimension, with fiat currencies and political weirdness and all sorts of ideas, brainwashing around feminism and the Mockingbird media and MK Ultra programs that are all playing out with the military-industrial complex. We got to be aware of that and navigate that. So the definition of the shaman is one who walks in between both worlds. I heard a great breakdown of the 5th dimension the other day, because no spiritual woo-woos can explain it. They're like, yeah, we're moving into the 5th dimension. What the fuck does that mean? And so he explained it great. it's actually the voice in your head when you're speaking to God, or it's that voice inside of you. It makes no sound, right? It's in the spirit world. And so he made a really good point and an analogy, and I encourage everyone to watch that. And so we're not there yet. We're not in the fifth dimension. We're getting inklings of it, right?
Right.
But we're still in the third dimension. So walk between both worlds, the new world and where we're at, and be honest with yourself. The rules for alchemy, the law for alchemy, the formula for alchemy is love, truth, wisdom. You can never bullshit yourself. You have to look in the mirror and be truthful. And then you have to hold steadfast to your dreams, clarify your dreams, your purpose, and your legacy. By law, that creates tension. Oh, I'm fucking here. Oh, but I want to be there. Oh, shit, I'm not there yet. Ooh, let that keep tension. Never bullshit yourself. Always look in the mirror. And then never let go of your dreams. By law, this creates tension. Tension must be resolved. Gold into lead or the wisdom. This is the rules for alchemy. Get clear in your heart and program your mind with your heart's desire. And then move forward steadfast with your goals, dreams, and desires, which is the fifth dimension, which is a baseline of what I believe we are going through in this evolution is a baseline of consciousness evolution. I believe we're going to go through an octave shift to where our vibrations are like coming out of an ayahuasca ceremony for all beings on the planet, which is what? Ultimate love in my heart, love for everyone, and grateful for everything. Ooh, yes. This is the baseline of what's coming to planet Earth. This is a baseline. We don't have to worry about talking about stupid ideological bullshit. You want an ideology? Get down with air, water, and soil and your motherfucking food sovereignty. How about that? That's a good spirituality. That's a good political program to adopt to. Right? Air, water, and soil, food sovereignty. You need water, you need food, you need shelter. Get clear on that, people, because to make this souffle, we got to crack some eggs. And that's what's happening right now. The old must go.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely resonate with that. My last time sitting with Aya was very intense. And I wanted to take my clothes off and run around screaming the name of Yeshua, and it got deep. And the medicine basically told me, it said, look, you got two options. Either you go into the jungle and you take some time away from your life and you go deeper with this medicine and you make that your life path, or you've already learned enough, get grounded, start doing some 3D work and integrate these lessons. He's like, Aya told me that. It's like go one way or the other, because if you're going to go deeper, you got to get way far away from this culture. Otherwise, they're going to lock you up in a loony bin. You got to go. Right. You got to go somewhere where they understand what you're going through, where you can get naked and start screaming in tongues and running through the jungle, or just take what you've learned, which is plenty, and go get your fucking hands in the mud. Go get dirty. Go lift some stuff. Go do some 3D work.
People can look at my whole career. I came out of the jungle in 2006. YouTube was a brand new reality. I came from comedy, Hollywood, television commercials, modeling, and just watch my first video and then move straight through the Amazon all through 2006, 2007, 2008. Watch my human trajectory. It took me 15 years to bootstrap my idea of business, Certified Health Nut, my online brand. Monetizing that, took me forever. Get over my poverty consciousness, surrender to God, all of that stuff. People want me to drink medicine all the time. My ex-wife, that's a huge responsibility. I don't got fucking time for that. I got kids to raise. I got myself to take care of, and I got a business to grow, and a huge mission. And so I don't have time to go do medicine for one night, 2 nights, even to go down to the jungle. That's a serious, undertaking. $4,000 or $5,000 a week or two, away from my family. Usually I take my kids down there, but the bottom line is it's a huge responsibility. And I've already got the message. I got the fucking phone call. I heard it in 2006. I've been working on it ever since.
Yeah.
You gotta put it. I'm going to show you guys the land that this medicine brother. He's been working on the medicine path for 11 years, and it culminated into everything that he's building here. And I got to tell you, whether it's my mentor in the Amazon, Scott Peterson, who's dead now, Paul Chek, who's worked extensively with medicines, or the guy I'm teamed up with here in Sedona right now. The medicine path, it makes you a fucking realist, right? These guys aren't leaves in the winds, little spiritual woo-woos and shit. They talk straight. They got projects. They're moving forward. They take everything with a grain of salt. They got extreme amounts of humility. The boy my homie I'm staying with right now, he pulled skulls at Sundance and passed out on the second day. Hey, newsflash, that's a fucking dry fast. And you're dancing underneath 100-degree sun in the Dakotas for 4 days in a row. And then they puncture your skin and they put these bones in it. And then you got to drag something that rips that skin out. This motherfucker is humble as all get up, but he's no leaf in the wind. He knows what's up. He's been around the block, because a lot of us, like me, I came from the street. I personally like my spirituality. I'm a street motherfucker, and I got some love in my heart, and I figured that stuff out. But I still talk straight to people, right? And people appreciate that.
Yep.
People appreciate that, because there's tons of spiritual woo-woo nonsense and bullshit all over the internet, all these influencers. Who's talking about the real shit, man? The food sovereignty, the poison in the water, the food, talking about the future of humanity, getting off oil, upgrading beyond fiat currencies, ushering in free energy. There's I wanted to answer the rest of that question. What's my plan? Free energy, self-care education, gift economy, and permaculture. And we're doing all those projects and filming it as much as possible. I've been giving my sweat equity into my brand for the past 15 years, making thousands of videos for free, and I will work for free. The thing is, I need organic food, and I understand my worth. So I no longer work for free. Some things are for free, but everything else is monetized currently as a strong businessman in this world that we're currently living in. Yes, I want to be in the fifth dimension in the gift economy. We're not there yet. So I put my sweat equity into anything that I want. I throw my money at anything else that doesn't take my sweat equity. I vote with my dollars. I invest wisely, and I'm doing all sorts of permaculture projects in this land just to be here. I got a little tiny house. I went from a mansion to a tiny house. You see that?
Nice. Yeah. Cool.
And so, but the real honest truth is being outside has made me more healthy than living in a mansion.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just in 2 weeks. Just in 2 weeks. I got my feet. I'm right here. I'm barefoot.
Yeah.
There's an ice bath over here. There's clean oxygen all the time. We're gonna do a sweat lodge today. We got a man clan, and so have I showed you this land yet, bro?
No, you haven't.
Have I showed you?
No.
So we got the horse troughs here for the ice bath.
Nice.
So we're draining those. We got ice coming on the way, and then this is a pond pool. I've never seen anything like this. So
Wow.
They designed this. My friend's got a permaculture background. He basically lived as a broke healer and hippie and yoga teacher for years.
Mm-hmm.
And all that stuff culminated. And I think he did some really good things in his life. And he got some good flow. But this is all designed. Look at the stonemason work.
That is awesome.
It is literally magical. Look we got 3 pyramids. I think the big one was donated. People are coming out of the woodwork. They just want to work the land. They want to be a part of the energy. They just want to be a part of anything. And so this land is amazing. I want to show you the sweat lodges over here. Here's the gentleman that built all this stuff. This building over here is made out of cob.
Nice.
And so, can you see the sweat lodge? It's all built into the ground.
Oh yeah, I see it.
And then we got rock stacks for beauty, right? And plus, this is meditation, working with the stone. And then, of course, look at how pretty that is,
wow.
right? And so and then there's the sweat lodge. You get a lot of medicine in with that. And then just being we light a fire almost every day. There's a sound dome. We do holotropic breath work, and they do medicine songs, and they sing medicine songs in here, and it's all soundproof. I mean, you know what it's like being in a dome.
Oh yeah.
And so he built this. It's all sacred land since he started, working with medicine. He built. Check this out. How important is water in the desert, guys? It's essential. So he drilled 800 feet to get the water here on the land. In the summertime, he's got green grass that grows in the desert.
Nice.
And so, yeah, and here's the dome. This is where we're doing the holotropic breath work on January 21st. We've got one holotropic a month. We can fit at least 30 people in there. They've got the singing sound bowls, gongs, etc. This is where they set up the giant Bedouin tent for conferences. We're having a permaculture conference here in May. There's one of those yurt tents. Those things are amazing. They're like $10,000, those tents.
Yeah, I lived in one of those for 8 months when I was growing weed up north.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So Tate, whenever you can, I'd like you to come out to the Man Clan and
I could use a little vacation.
And bring your gifts, man, because I know you're a homie. I know you show up, and we just work the land, bro. We go back. Everybody's doped up on fiat currency, so it's very hard for people to put in their sweat equity for things that they desire. But this is what's coming. You need to build community and lock in your food sovereignty. It's so important at this stage of the game. It's everything. You want control and you want autonomy and sovereignty, then make sure that you got water, make sure that you got food, make sure that you got community. Part of what we're doing here is barn raising. So we went out, the ATVs, the off-road vehicles, they destroy the ecosystem. The dust gets on the trees and it kills the trees. The nature ecosystem is so fragile when you look at man just trampling on it. And so Sedona is a beautiful place, but there's erosion from the humic and fulvic acids, the topsoil. This is a big fucking deal, man. So we got the men together and we go out and lift boulders and we put them on the dirt road and in the way of the ATV tracks so the ATVs can't go through there. That's just one little community project that the Forest Service is supposed to do it. They got one little stick sign. It's about that big and it says, do not come down here. So we're just helping out the Forest Service. Awesome. We're just doing, and not the ATVs, it's like people want to enjoy themselves. I'm not trying to fault them, but yeah, it's time to rethink this. I actually told a Tesla driver the other day, he was parking in this parking lot in downtown Sedona, and I waved to him. I talked to everybody and stuff, and then they said, "Oh, well, we're right here. We're renting an ATV." And I go, "Oh, that's great. Well, have fun." I said, my team and fellas are working on the tracks outside of town because the ATVs are ruining the environment. Well, the guy had a Tesla. I think he was from LA, and he's like, well, we're all about the environment. Thanks for letting us know. And, they went and they canceled their reservation. And so, and I didn't want to be negative. I was like, please enjoy yourself. I understand them. I understand them. And at the same time, just because I said something, that was one less person that's going to go out and destroy the local environment. Awesome. So we're showing up on whatever level we can with our natural gifts. We're staying in alignment, so we're in tune. So when we speak, that is in tune, and that can raise other people's vibrations. And if negativity comes back, it doesn't matter because we've already raised our vibrations and we know how to take care of ourselves. So the speech becomes much more pure.
Awesome. Were you raised to be like, I guess, in your masculine, or was that something that you discovered and cultivated as you grew up? Were you raised sort of to be a man, let's put it that way, or were you raised as a more effeminate man and had to learn it through your life lessons?
Yeah, part of this is in my book, whether it's our schooling or whatever. I didn't know who the fuck I was. Yeah. I've always had my, somebody told me to read C.S. Lewis, Catcher in the Rye. They kept on telling me to read it. And it was almost like On the Road with Jack Kerouac. People told me to read that forever. I was a little bit bored at it because it kind of had that. What was the character in that book? Anyways,
I never read it.
Catcher in the Rye. He just kind of had a sourpuss attitude, and I don't have a sourpuss attitude, but my linguistics come out as kind of like a punk, you know? And maybe that's because the way I grew up, had to stand up for myself. I had an older brother that I didn't get along with. And I just learned not to take shit from anybody. And I also realized now later in life that my energy, my je ne sais quoi, my unique idiosyncrasies are part of my energetic template. And my heart's completely in the right place, but I come off very strong and intense with my language. And I think my energetic signature already starts to jostle people's vibrations that aren't ready for it. And I talked to a Marine recon war hero, and he was abused in boys' homes, and I think he was sexually abused, was beaten, everything. And I always thought, because I grew up on the street, I can read people like a book. And what Rudy said was that is threat assessment. So energetically, your nervous system is on point because there's been so much trauma, raising of the voice, hitting, whatever kind of violence in the home. So the nervous system is jacked up. So you walk in a room, man, you know what's going on. And now I just realized that, yeah, I'm so intuitive, psychic, threat assessment, streetwise, whatever you want to call it. But energetically, I can feel when people are being subversive, their thoughts, and not so much what they say, but how they are. And I've always had a razor sharp edge for injustice. And I used to get into a lot of trouble. I would tell people, just if I could, they fuck with me, and I knew their energy was off, didn't matter what they were saying. I was just like, fuck you, who are you? And let me tell you, you drop the F-bomb in our society, I don't care what the other person did, including stealing, ripping off, hurting, murdering. It doesn't matter. As soon as you raise your voice or swear in this world, you're the bad guy. And that is part of the toxic masculinity, communist subversive move. Because here's the thing. Here's a news flash, motherfuckers. Everybody out there listening, you psycho chicken motherfuckers. Listen to me. And that motherfucker is a term of endearment in my book. Listen to me. You want a strong male that's clear in the mind, standing up if someone's poisoning the rivers, poisoning the children. Yep. You want that. You want somebody on the front lines calling a spade, making sure shit's getting fucking done. Right? Not that women can't do that either. God bless any strong woman that's willing to rise up to that level. The fact of the matter is, you want strong men, towing the line for what's right, what's morally in our heart that's going to create peace and harmony around the world. Because people can now, because of the conditioning and the mind control, people can debate right and wrong, right?
Yeah.
People, you can scientifically validate poisoning the water with fluoride.
Oh my God.
Right? You can scientifically validate poisoning the whole planet with glyphosate and Roundup Ready. And the list goes on. What is it? Deuterium-6, Aaron Brockovich found in the water in California. It was causing cancer. I mean, the list goes on. So you want someone.
You got a chemtrail going right behind you as you're speaking.
Dude, they're fucking nuking this place, dude. They're fucking nuking this place, man.
Speaking of.
So, yeah, you want somebody speaking up. And here's the thing. We're being so mind controlled and programmed, whether you believe in chemtrails or not. Look, there's pollution. There's particulates coming out of the air. And so you're breathing that. That's going into your environment. What's the aluminum and the strontium and the barium? What's that doing to the fucking soil? Have you heard about the beetles that are taking over the redwoods in Northern California? Why is that? The trees are fucking dying. Trees are intelligent. If they know that there's poison on the ground, it's going to stop uptaking nutrients. right? It's a mystery. Why are the beetles attacking it? It's a predatory host. Well, predators only come in when the defenses are down, and then the predators proliferate. So this is poisoning of the commons. And so people aren't aware of that because they're too doped up on fucking racism. They think racism is a thing. Look, I've been on this planet for 55 years. There is no systemic racism. There are assholes, and yes, there's classism. Live in Hollywood and try and climb up the entertainment rung. First of all, it doesn't matter if you're gay or black or anything else. You can achieve whatever you want there if you're willing to suck dick, or whatever other, Hollywood games they play.
Or hail Satan.
Exactly. And so I forgot my train of thought, but I've been on this planet for 55 years. It's not that assholes don't exist, and it's not that there's probably some racist motherfuckers out there that think that their race is better than the other, and racism works all ways. My best friend in college was he second generation Japanese. His father came over from Japan. I think he got put in an internment camp. And they bought his land in Chinatown or something. And during the war, anyways, he ended up getting a huge building on Van Ness, and very good success story. But they had to deal with a lot of challenges. Anyways, my buddy used to tell me about the Asian culture because I was going to Japan and working in Japan. He said Japanese are the most racist culture out there. 99% or 97% of Japan are Japanese. And so, and then he went on to say expletives like the Koreans are the N-word of the Orient and whatever. So look, racism or racist ideas or separatist ideas, they do exist. I'm not trying to say that. However, black, white, Japanese, Asian, yellow, red man, blue man, purple man, black man, my goal is to reunite the brotherhood of man. It was prophesized a long time ago. I don't care what color you are. And what I'm trying to say is the quote that Morgan Freeman says, how do you stop racism? Stop fucking talking about it. I'm not into it. I'm here to subjugate and override above it. Come to any one of my man clans. You guys are invited. We'll sit in the sweat lodge. We'll talk about this shit. Here's the thing. Playing the victim is a weak position. And they want you to play the victim and worry about the victim. But I've been studying success as an entrepreneur, the freedom lifestyle. If you play the victim, then that's what will show up. But if you play the victor and you be strong, you can face all these challenges without crying rape, right? Without crying, oh, I'm a victim. I want to make these points before people start marginalizing me in our cancel culture. I've done confrontational psychology, landmark forum, MITT type of work, EST type of work. And the human condition is real. I had 60 people in my class and we did extensive, workshops. And one of them was to leave, the abuse behind or the trauma behind. And I had to listen to 60 people. And whether it was abject torture, like being in a foster care system and throwing in scalding water and being abused and beaten to shit, bloody and stuff like that, or, a parent dying and the other parent not really loving that child and feeling that they were traumatized or violated emotionally or psychologically. So whether it's perceived or abject real, the human condition is real. We've all been through it. So let's get over our spilt milk, rise up to our divinity and create heaven on earth. Heaven on earth is already here. Realize heaven on earth and create peace on earth. Peace in my heart first, and then peace in the world. Racism doesn't exist. How do you stop it? You stop talking about it. The Mockingbird media, MK Ultra, is programming you to be divisive against others and stop playing the victim.
Yep, the divide and conquer agenda is definitely present, and it's insane. Have you ever wanted to make a song for a special someone? Or maybe just for yourself? Maybe you have an idea, something funny, something with a positive message, but you don't play an instrument. Maybe you don't even sing. Or maybe you do, but you have no place to record, or you lack the proper gear or the knowledge of how to make your song sound professional. Regardless of where you are, if you have the desire to create a piece of music that can forever resonate as an imprint that you make, this service is for you. At Vibe Keeper Records, we can do it all, from writing to recording to mixing to mastering to distribution and even music videos. This is your one-stop shop. With this service, you can watch and hear your creative ideas come to life. If you're interested in having a song recorded just for you or for your loved one, visit thevibekeeper.com, click on Services, and let's make a song. Can you speak into the masculine quality of competition? Have we created an over-competitive culture? And if so, how can we create a more healthy level of competition? Because I think competition is sort of hardwired into the psychology of men, whether we're competing against ourselves or against others. It seems like, to me personally, it seems like we could be living in such a better world if we were in a more collaborative frame of mind. But I think also there's a balance there. Like, there is a healthy level of competition that helps us to better ourselves. Do you have anything to say around that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think competition is naturally inherent in us, and it can be used for the greater good, to being the best. Like, who's the best? Who's the fastest? There's nothing wrong with that. What happens is you throw a fiat currency debt slave system with central banking in there, and they siphon off, there is no intrinsic value. And then if you have any value in sweat equity, they can just do a housing crisis or a bank shift, or what we're seeing now with all these bailouts and sticking trillions of dollars of paper into a currency that was only backed by billions of dollars worth of paper in 2007. So now I think we're up to $7 trillion worth of paper that's been printed since 2008.
Mm-hmm.
It's devalued your currency. So people are in competition. Look, I hang out at Air One all day long and talk to people and eat health food and work out and stuff. Let me tell you, in LA, with the rent so high and the food expense so high, people don't have time to chit chat for forever and cooperate with people. They've got to make money. If you're not making me money, conversation ends. Mm-hmm. And so there is a competitive element. Look, I dealt with this competition with my, supposedly loving wife, who's a very loving person. She's conditioned to compete with me and to compete in the marketplace and compete in the industrial world. She was in fashion. She worked with all the Jewish schmata guys in New York City. They're tough to deal with. She would tell me all the time. Very, very tough in business to deal with. And, Koreans are very well known for their own toughness in business. And she was tough. And she brought all that masculine stuff right in the home. If there was any decision that needed to be made at the home and she wanted to make a decision that was different from mine, it was fucking World War III. It still is to this day, right? So she'll play the feminine card when she wants to be weak and play the victim, but then she'll play the masculine card when she wants her own way. And so, I just don't think two masculine entities, that's not going to work out. So we're matched, polarized. She's in her masculine, and I'm in my masculine. I was in my feminine because I didn't answer that question before.
Yeah.
I was living on the west side of Los Angeles, selling herbs to all the raw food vegans and health people and all that stuff. And I was around this ideology around the divine feminine and how the masculine's out of balance. And, and I think there's validity in that conversation, but I didn't know who I was as a man, as a family man. No one taught me about marriage, the covenant of marriage and family. I wasn't schooled in this. I had to learn it the hard way. And I do believe that family is first. And my whole mission has been trying to keep my family together. Although my wife's off there drinking ayahuasca, I don't want to be a mom. I don't want to be a wife. I want to be, a famous influencer healer, and I didn't do any work around that. So I want you to do all the marketing for me and promote me as that. And no, I don't want to have sex with you. And no, I don't like, it's like they want their cake and to fucking eat it too. The fuck is that? So what happened to me during my initial part of my marriage before my divorce is my wife was good in business.
Uh-oh, you cut out.
Clarity that's not against men, right? But just honest, devotional. This is my feminine offering to the world. This is what I think needs to be out there. And so instead, I just capitulated to my wife and what she wanted. Do this in business. Try that. Do this. Do work with that person. Don't say this. Don't say that. Make more money. You're not making enough money. Why can't you make more money? I hate you because I have to work my other job, you know? And it's like, not like, oh, thank God we have work and money to feed the family and we live in a vacation destination and we have brand new cars and our children are in private school and we have a beautiful life. No gratitude for that. It's just bitch, complain and moan, make more fucking money. And I'm not the only one because I got tons of clients like that as well. And so is that really who we are as a species? Is fighting, dividing, and conquer amongst the others. So let me finish the capitulating to the feminine.
Sure.
So, I really wanted to honor that. And yes, dear, I understand that. Lots of things we disagree with and we got in fights over with. But for the most part, I was like, yes, dear. Oh, you're smarter in business than me. Okay. All right. Yes, dear. I'll do that. And then that didn't work. And, we'd get done with half-baked ideas or half-finished projects. And then it wouldn't, put more money on the table. And so, we'd scrap that. And it was just a fucking shit show for the longest time. And when we got divorced, I had enough money coming in from my Purium superfood business. I actually didn't think I was going to make it because she was complaining. She was handling the finances. That was the other thing I let her do, is handle the finances. As a man, I think it's a good idea that we really understand. I'm not driven by money, Tate. I think you know that by me.
Yeah.
I do like money and creation power and the ability of what it does for help me have impact in the world. But I'm not driven by it. As long as I got food, and as long as I got a shelter and the nature and my free time, I'm fucking happy. And so, but this whole idea around making more money, she kept pushing me around, and then we got divorced. I didn't even think I had enough money to get an apartment in LA if she was complaining so much. But lo and behold, I built up a business. It was paying me about $3,000 a month. I got divorced in 2017, and I had a bunch of advisors and coaches that I was working with. And one of my business coaches was doing some shit like get out there and do networking calls and contact people on LinkedIn. It was such a dead end road with so much time, sweat equity in it. I just was like, shut the fuck up. This is so old paradigm. And I was just like, no more external inputs. That's where the beard came from. That's where the hair came from. I stopped giving a fuck what people think. And I gave myself permission to fucking fail, fall on my face and fail. I'm going to pick myself up each and every time. And sure enough, I failed my way to success. I moved I remarried my wife, put my family back together. We stayed in my one bedroom for 3 months. Then we moved into the biggest house in LA. Coronavirus happened, moved to Sedona, and she still wanted to be the man in the relationship. And we just clashed within 1 month of being here. My team was here. I was killing it in business, and she moved out. And
wow.
That's where we've been ever since. And she's just been trying to find her way, because she is a feminine force, but she's completely in her masculine. And this world, it'll do that. It'll create that competition. Now she wants to compete with me as well. And that's understandable, but there is no competition. As far as I'm concerned, I'm the best at being me. And nobody can fuck with that. And I'm gonna be me at 100% all up in your grill 100% of the time. And so that's what I did. I felt I lost my internal navigation, capitulating to my woman and letting her lead. Yeah. But again, back to David Data's work, fucking man doesn't lead. Women don't have respect for you. So I'm sure there's some respect lost, and I don't handle controversy very well. I don't fight fairly. So, we fight pretty viciously, and it's all in my book anyways. But, my wife took it upon herself to steal change my passwords and steal $63,000 out of my bank account the other day.
Whew.
So you want to talk about competition, bro? You tell me what the fuck's going on. This is supposed to be a person that loves me, and we were gonna get a house together, and so I'm here to tell you that's why I call everybody psycho chickens, because everybody has the seeds of greatness and everybody has the seeds of darkness inside of them.
Mm-hmm.
What are you manifesting? What are you focusing on? What are you watering and cultivating inside of yourself? There's no bad or good. The chapters aren't over. Again, the book was great. We got remarried. Love wins, and it keeps going. Life keeps going. Now, I don't hate my wife. I don't hate women. None of that. I understand. I respect the human condition, and I want to call forth our divine masculinity, our divine femininity, and stay in our lanes. Let me clean up my real estate. Let me clean up my side of the street, take care of my own real estate, and be open how I can serve others in the community. And so, I want nothing but peace and harmony and love and consciousness. But we do have a debt slave system based on oil. And oil, people think they're into racism. They're like, oh yeah, racist. America's racist. Hey, look, motherfuckers, I did the math. I worked in the Amazon. We're cutting that thing down at a heavy clip, and oil exploration is numero uno at the cancer of the Amazon. So here's the thing, guys. We are practicing genocidal racism on Brownie because they have the brown crude oil, whether that's the Sudan or Darfur or Venezuela or Libya, Syria, Afghanistan, which is about pipelines. Syria is about a pipeline. Iraq. Opium. And so, look, there are all sorts of opium triangle deals. Yep. I did research on drugs and the mafia. I did a report on drugs and the mafia in college. And it quickly became drugs and the U.S. government. Yep. So the U.S. government was running planes for the Viet Cong to the poppy fields of Afghanistan for the Golden Triangle, for the heroin trade. As Nixon is denouncing drug use and heroin use on the TV, the CIA is flying the drugs around on our planes. I think it was Air America, if I do recall. So there is a lot of backwards fuckery going on. Pull the wool out over your eyes, guys, and understand things a little bit better. You start talking about racism, start looking at you in the mirror in your own gasoline usage, because that's systemic racism. Kill Brownie for natural resources. And so let's face facts. And again, I'm not into racism. If you're going to talk about it with me, the conversation's going to end. And so I have mixed race children. And I told these guys called me racist. These Indians called me racist here in Sedona back in June. And, I told them I don't see in color. And then this other asshole, what's his name? Nedick, tried to rake me through the coals. And, everyone's got their own philosophy and perspective. Yeah. And, Nedick was saying, oh, you don't see in color, but do you see in height? Like, if you see a tall motherfucker, you're going to get into a fight with him if he's a lot bigger than you. Whatever. I have filters. I deal with people at the heart level, right? I'm not assessing. I'm assessing energetically on everything. And yeah, if you have a different color skin, you were brought up differently, or the potential for you to be brought up differently, to have cultural differences. That's a threat assessment. I need to assess who I'm working with. That's just reading human beings. It has nothing to do with racism. The definition of racism is if you think one culture is better than the other, and reverse racism works on the same ticket. And so I think we're all in the same boat. We are all on this planet. We are all one. We are all connected. We are all one or none. And if you don't get that and you still want to call me a racist, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I think the prime ism.
You're looking for a problem. You're the racist, and you're looking for a problem. If you're calling other people a racist, you're looking for, because a real racist looks like cruel people. It's like fuck other people, and we're going to either kill them or hurt them, or this is our ideology. Never met one. Sorry. Never met one. They may exist. I think the Ku Klux Klan's got some membership down in the South. I know. But I've been on the planet for 55 years. The racism that I see is killing other people for natural resources. So if you're not going to talk about that, it's like BLM. Black Lives Matter only when it's your political agenda. Black Lives Matter for the kids in Chicago getting murdered every week. They don't matter because they're not out there talking about that. The Black lives of cops that got killed, they don't matter because you don't see BLM talking about that because it's a subversive communist program funded by these extreme elite people. George Soros, worth $18 billion, funnels all that money into BLM and Antifa. Anyways, I don't want to get off on too many negatives, but let me just wrap this up. This is a cognition call. This is a wake-up fucking call. This is a wake-up call for people to get into the mirror. Who and what are you? What are you made of? And what makes up yourself? You might want to dig down to bedrock and understand that and start building community around that if you like your life. Maybe you like the hell. Maybe it entertains you. And so, okay, just be honest with yourself, right? Be honest with yourself. And remember, you get what you give. So,
yeah. I mean, you talked a little bit about the banksters. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin?
I don't have a lot and I lost some money in some investments. So,
yeah,
I do, but I don't know what's going to happen, but I've already seen it go up and come down. Who siphons off that sweat equity? Who siphons off that money? Where does it go? Now it's going up and down again. And so I'm calling forth the gift economy when brothers and sisters give that which they have in their heart and their genius, their genius, and we can build community around that. I'll scrub the toilets on Santa Monica if they get the communists the fuck out of there and we start building mental health camps and really start healing people with natural medicine. And they clean up the beach. I'll clean the bathroom blocks down there. Why? I'm part of the community. I can humble myself. I can clean the toilet bowls, scrub toilets. I don't care. I'll humble myself for that. If I got to do that for 3 to 4 hours a week to live in a community that's clean, and I'll do what it takes. Ubuntu is the movement that you want to follow. Michael Tellinger, A World Beyond Money. It's totally possible. We have to speak it into existence, envision it first. My next appointment here is Tate. You want to wrap this up a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna close off with the question that I ask all my guests at the end of the podcast, because this is a site and podcast focused around men's health and wellness, being masculine in today's culture. So this is the question. It's a 3-part question. What does being a masculine man in a healthy way mean to you in today's culture? What does that look like, and why is it important?
Being myself, knowledge of self. All knowledge is knowledge of self. Being myself to the nth degree. And shining up the temple of God, God's temple. So being a shining example of divinity on this earth as much as possible, moving towards that, and being myself.
Awesome.
And here's the thing: I got to accept my shadow. So I got to be able to accept my shadow and honor my shadow, and then that way I can deal with others and accept their shadow. I got to accept my wife. Stealing, what kind of thief takes that type of money? Obviously, somebody who feels that they're completely entitled.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to work with forgiveness in my heart. I'm going to have peace in my family and family first, regardless if we're together sexually. And I will admit, guys, get off the porn and really watch your sexual energy with women. Because if you want problems, have sex with a woman. You'll get all her emotional problems. And so make sure that you're complete first and that you build a relationship first before you have sex as best you can. I mean, sex is great. So sometimes you want the one night stand or whatever, but just know that there's a price to pay. I figured that out at 50 when I got divorced and went on Tinder and Bumble and met a bunch of women, and it was a fucking shit show. I went celibate. So understand your sexual energy. I think is very important, and know that women will utilize that because of our programming against you. I noticed that with my wife. She would get horny about every month and a half. So she cut me off, but then she'd come back, right? And the issue was my own inner masculine resolve. That should have been off the table. If she's going to play all these games and then come and have sex when she wants and then leave and use withholding sex and withholding love against me and being cold and mean, well, as soon as I took sex off the table, oh my God, you should have seen the vulnerability and how the table shifted then. So you really want power? Reclaim your sexuality. No fap. Stop fucking your hands. Stop jerking off. Stop watching porn. Stop being, and then have a baseline and then meet a woman that also has some of these ideals. We're all fucked up because we've all been programmed to a certain degree. And here's the other thing. I don't want to be completely negative and victim consciousness. We're not fucked up. This is spiritual fodder for our own awakening. We are God incarnate. We are the sum total of the all. We are the drop in the ocean, which means we are the ocean and we're the drop. So we are, it's a heavy message for people to understand that they are God consciousness, but that is the ultimate. And so
totally.
Anyways,
I want to reference your book on that one. You say, I am grateful for my pain as it teaches me the direction to shift into. And I 100% resonate with that. Like I said, I encountered a couple haters on the internet yesterday. I just finished my 5-mile run. I run 5 miles 5 days a week and just got finished. And that got me all heated. And first I responded all heated. And then I went, you know what? I'm going to go work out more. Now I got all this energy. I'm fucking heated. I went back to the beach and kept working out. So, I think what you're saying resonates with me completely. It's like we can be so thankful for all the assholes, all the retards and idiots, all the because it heats us up. And it, just like with fire, you can burn your house down or you can cook a steak, and I think that's a really, suicide rates right now are fucking through the roof. It's super sad, but I think that's a really positive message for men to look at and see all that stuff that's causing your sadness and pain and anger that can be channeled into making your body stronger, making your mind stronger, and just making you more resilient. I think the more challenges that we go through in life, the more opportunity we have to build ourselves up. So I just want to end on that note and say that I'm super grateful for you taking the time to come on here and share your story, share your wisdom. It looks like you're doing it out in Sedona. That's quite the property you got there. If you have any links that you want to share, you guys should definitely check out his book. It's a really powerful book, Ripped at 50. He's also working with this company, Purium. They've got the highest quality. I don't even want to call them supplements. It's food. It's nutrient dense foods, and it's clean. It's high quality. If you want to get linked up with Purium, I'll get a link from Troy so you can link up with him on that. Is there anything else you want to plug before you go, Troy?
Yeah, I've got a free Qigong video for everyone who logs into my website, troycasey.com, certifiedhealthnut.com. We did a 30-minute binaural beat didgeridoo Qigong challenge, so you can watch it every day and get your exercise on, get your mobility on. Log on to troycasey.com. I'm being censored, just like JP Sears, Elliot Hulse, Brian Rose. We're doing pretty good on YouTube right now. Instagram's completely censored. I could be deplatformed. So find me everywhere. I'm on Patreon. I'll be on BitChute. You'll find me on Discord, Telegram, wherever I end up. But stay in touch with me on the website. Sign into the email list, and we'll keep you up to date to all my workshops, my retreats, and breathwork sessions.
Awesome. Thanks, Troy. And reach out. Let's make a song.
I love it, dude. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
God bless.
God bless. Bye.